Welcome back to Critical Healing Moment. This is V as a voiceover, and this is the second video in my Joyful Growing series. If you missed the first video where I started my seeds and talk you through the process, you can watch it here in the corner. Let me also apologize for the camera angle for the majority of today's video, because when I was first filming this gardening process, I had no idea I was going to turn it into a series. In today's video, I will be walking you through my process of transplanting from my gyppy pods into larger pots. The first thing I did was examine the pile of trash I have been collecting to see what kind of containers I can have for my transplants. I have literally been going through my house's kitchen trash and digging out containers I think could get another life being a pot instead of going to the recycling center or the landfill. Then I made a rough plan in my bullet journal about which containers to use for which plants and color-coded each pot with washi tape. To make drainage holes in these containers, I used my new favorite toy, my drill driver. Some types of plastic, like these takeout containers, do not hold up and crack when you try to drill a hole, but this works great for yogurt containers and clear plastic. And for other containers like these ones you can get for salad greens, I wanted to use for multiple plants, so I cut up pieces of cardboard to use as dividers, which is an idea I found on YouTube. I jokingly refer to this as my trash garden, but I kind of love that and think that it's beautiful that it's all growing in trash. So what I am doing, because I am cheap and I don't like wasting anything, is using an old potting mix that may or may not have like mold, bacteria, and other stuff growing in it, and I'm just adding about a spoonful of fertilizer, which is what I estimated based off the instructions and the size of the container. Then it was time for the ruthless thinning of the seedlings, which is hard for me because, again, I hate wasting things. I thinned the seedlings to 1 per jiffy pod. I kind of just eyeballed which one looked the strongest, so I was looking for a thicker stem and strong leaves. I really like these little scissors I bought because I'm able to get in there and be very precise with my snip. I also cut 4 slits in the jiffy pod netting so that the roots are not constrained by them just in case. And then I put it in the container and topped it off with a little bit more soil. Now I just have to repeat it for the rest of the seedlings. And for some of these plants like this mustard, you can actually eat the seedlings that you thin out. Last thing we need to do is give these a little bit of water. Okay, here's another tour of my little growing area here. I've put all of the repotted, transplanted seedlings in their own containers there and up here. Here we have, what is this? I think it's an eggplant. This is a type of cherry tomato, carrots that are still in their original seed starting containers.
These are scallions. Oh, they're so cute. This is mescaline mix, so the leaves are starting to turn a little bit red because there's some like red kale kind of stuff in there. These are my beets. Okay, and here we have the grow light. It's kind of far away from these, but hopefully there's sun. This is not a south facing window. This is a east facing window, so it gets light during the daytime. But what I do is I take the plants out and I take them into the sun during the daytime after work, which ends for me at 1 p.m. All right, it's sort of the golden hour. Is this the golden hour? I don't know. It's really sunny in my eyes right now, but this is today's look. I got home from work and I got to working to my garden, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I've done. Okay, starting right in front of me, I'm disinfecting this Rubbermaid bin that was used as a litter box to use for container gardening for like carrots and root vegetables. So this is vinegar and water and soap in a 4:1 ratio, or however that is. And also this here, I am disinfecting this. It's just been clean litter in here, but I decided might as well. And over here, this is Kayla, our landlord crew. That's just been going at it. And here I've brought out my plants for them to enjoy the 70-degree weather and sunlight. There are the ones that I've already transplanted, and this is what I did today. So I put my beets in this old cat litter box. I drilled holes in the bottom. So I planted in clusters of 2. I kept like one little baby one in case they grow at different rates, so that I'm thinking maybe they'll mature like a little bit later. Who knows if that actually works, but I planted 4 clusters here. This is my mescaline mix. They're really clustered in the little container. This was their old container. I think it was this one. And so they're kind of bunched up, but maybe they'll spread out when they're growing. We'll see about that. This is pepper plant, I believe. The issue was I had my seedlings in the Jiffy tray and they fell from the shelf, so they got mixed up and some of them didn't make it, like this one. But I do believe this is pepper because it looks like pepper leaves. And this is another pepper. This one has more leaves. The true leaves have developed here. These containers have holes drilled in the bottom. This is from the mescaline mix. I think it's red kale. This is the only thing that germinated from that seed. Those seeds are kind of old, so I think the germination rates are kind of low. Now these will be very interesting here. So in these bottles, and I do love my ginger kombucha. Whenever I get kombucha, I always get ginger for some reason. Ginger. These are basil. Well, at least these 2 are basil. I tried to plant in these bottles. I just filled them up with soil and fertilizer and just put the little seedling pod at the top. We'll see how these do. I do have some left there in case these don't work out. I'm probably just gonna plant them in a regular pot to see, or a regular shape pot to see how it turns out. And then this here is my mystery Asian plant, which after it has germinated, it looks like Thai basil to me because of the purple stem. So I do think that's what it is, so I went ahead and put it in a bottle as well. These are more seedlings I'm trying to germinate just because some of them didn't germinate well in the egg carton. I'm trying out this paper towel method, but I don't have a heating mat, so I think it's been a bit slow. I don't even want to open them yet until I really see. And what I do is like I bring it out on a warm day like this so that it gets a little bit of a condensation and the warmth in there, but it's not like consistently warm. So I'm trying to decide what is going to be able to stay outside because now it's too much for them to be under my grow light. So some of them have to stay out, and I think some of them can, like the lettuce and the mustard. They're like more cold weather vegetables. Obviously like peppers, tomatoes have to go back in. That's what I'm gonna do now.